Welcome. Oh. Welcome on in, everyone. And Yoshi, thank you. Welcome on in. Cap, thank you. I was just about to start, but I guess we'll do a quick thank you. Momo, I was lurking in your chat this morning. Mwah. Oh. Okay, crazy start. First of all, Momo, thank you so much for bringing your lovely, wonderful, phenomenal community to the stream today. And thank you so... Wow, Mr. Rob Steele with 100 gifted subs. I hope you have an amazing rest of your evening, Momo. I hope your community enjoys and is okay with some comfortable SCP reading today, because that's what we're doing. Momo, mwah, much love. Please go follow Momo. She is so sweet and so kind and such a brilliant artist. Thank you so much for the support. I promise it won't be that scary, I promise. And Mr. Rob Steele, I do not know where you've come from, but I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That was so kind of you. And Scumbag and Cap, thank you so much. If you're just now tuning in, my name is Layna. Every Monday, but this time Tuesday because of the Christmas holidays, I do ASMR, but not the typical ASMR that you may think of. I like to do comfy, cozy, creepy, a little bit different. I don't really lick or bite. That's not really my thing. But today, we'll be reading some SCPs. Don't worry, it's not too creepy. It's all audible, so you can relax. Maybe you want to put me on in the background, or maybe you want to lay down. Maybe you just want to sit and watch and listen. Start playing horror and lurking when your voice scared. I'm so sorry. But welcome back. We will be reading today. Are you ready? Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Thank you. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Did you guys have a good time with Momo? Yep. Thank you so much for taking care of her. I appreciate it. She's a sweetheart. I love House Flipper and I want to play it so bad on stream sometime. So I imagine that you just got off of a really comfy, cozy stream. So you're in the right place. Merry Christmas, Guru. For the sake of the future, by the way, of people watching this at any other given time, I'm going to keep all of the thanking the subs and resubs to the end, if that is okay with you guys. Which I'll do one more. Smiley, welcome back for 25 months. Momo turns into chaos. I've got to catch the VOD. I love Momo. I got to go see what she's done. But for now, welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Let me just double check and ensure that everything sounds nice and clear, not too loud and not too quiet. How does that feel on your little eardrums? Hi. Good. Hey, got Layna on the TV. Today, I have perfectly and delicately curated the SCPs for today. Today, if at any point you get confused and want to know what SCPs we're doing, you can type "what SCPs" We'll be covering 2998, 439, 4419, 610, 354, 966, and 024. How does that sound? Again, thank you guys so much for the subs. That is insane. I didn't expect to know that you guys would be so excited today. 100 gifted subs, that is, I'm still kind of reeling. I'm trying to keep myself together for the theme, but you guys are breaking me already. Okay. Massive shout out to Suika for putting the text together. I do appreciate it. Are all of you comfy? Are you cozy? Do you want to chat with the TV for a little bit before we begin, or do you just want to jump right into it? Let's begin. Today we will be starting with SCP-2998. I'm going to make this go a little bit faster because this is a little too slow. Hang on. All right. Beginning with SCP-2998. Object class: safe. Special containment procedures. The Foundation has modified ratio frequency in electronics. I'm going to make this go faster because I think I read faster than this text goes. Hold on. Let's try that again. Okay. Special containment procedures. The Foundation has modified radio frequency and electronics manufacturing standards worldwide to avoid civilian production of devices capable of receiving SCP-2998. Internet, radio, and print communications this seems to be too slow still. I think I read too fast. We got it. It's fine. The Foundation has modified radio frequency and electronics manufacturing standards worldwide to avoid civilian production of devices capable of receiving SCP-2998. Internet, radio, and print communications monitoring efforts by relevant Foundation departments are to be on alert for images or descriptions relating to SCP-2998. The frequency on which SCP-2998 is broadcast is to be monitored regularly for any change in SCP-2998 content. All extraterrestrial vessels and probes are to be modified covertly to include equipment designed to monitor for the presence of SCP-2998 off-world. I hope you guys like extraterrestrials. Research to determine the source of SCP-2998 and the background behind its content is to continue as a Class 6 priority effort. I think I still read faster than this text goes. I also think my neighbors are putting the glass in the recycling, and it's very, very loud. Description: SCP-2998 is an electromagnetic signal with a constant frequency of 2485. I'm just going to say MHC because I'm going to say it wrong. Its power and origin cannot be determined. This signal appears to be invariably present at all locations throughout the known solar system. The signal was believed initially to be an anomalous but innocuous white noise present at that frequency. Minor variances suggested the presence of some other information within the signal, but no means to decode SCP-2998 were developed until 2011. The signal was found to contain a digital video transmission with a monorail track. The video appears to depict a humanoid entity of an unknown species floating in a dark room. While no context is provided for the image, the reflective body language and high-pitched noises being emitted by the entity seem to suggest it is in extreme physical distress. No other entities have been seen within the video feed, and no external source of harm has been noted. However, certain features within the image suggest that some sort of abnormal telekinetic phenomena are occurring. The entity frequently appears to be pushed or moved, and brief images of background objects within the room suggest that some gravitational field is present. Thank you very much for 4K subscribers on the channel, by the way. That's huge. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. My goodness. Thank you. Implying the entity's mid-air position is not due to zero gravity conditions, and the entity is being held in place by an unknown force. Addendum to 998A. SCP-2998 has been theorized to contain additional information that has yet to be decoded. Some components of the TV signal currently appear as noise by Foundation decoding techniques. Several researchers involved with SCP-2998 would have concluded that this would not be expected, given the complexity of the encoding and transmission technologies behind SCP-2998. Current theories include three-dimensional stereoscopic data, some kind of redacted, neural activity. Now that was a good start to check and have a vibe and a feel with how this is going to run from here on out. I'm happy to listen to any suggestions that you may have. Now's the time. Ema, welcome back for 52 months. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. And Devon, welcome back for 29. Losk Utak coming in with the 4,000th subscriber. And Mobius, welcome back and happy 1-year anniversary. Maybe I can thank you guys in between SCPs. Maybe that's not so bad. Alright, the next one will be for 3, 9. Welcome on in, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Our next SCP, item number SCP-439, object class Euclid, special containment procedures. Specimen is to be kept at Armed Research Site 45. Hazardous life forms wing in a sealed, locked 38L 10-gallon Type G containment unit with connected oxygen supply. Specimen is to be fed through feeding tube 16A with approved nutritive substance XF. Handling is available to level 2 personnel and higher. Description: SCP-439 is an insect of unknown origin, somewhat resembling a grayish, semi-translucent Forficula auricularia common earwig, approximately 2.5 centimeters in length, originally located and obtained in mainland China in the redacted province. No other specimen has been found as of yet. SCP-439 is relatively harmless when encountered on safe terms, aside from the ability to deliver a firm, painful pinch with its abdominal forceps. The true hazard this creature possesses lies in its habitat construction and reproduction, which is initiated when the specimen enters the mouth of a sleeping human. This will only occur with humans. Other life forms have been presented to SCP-439 and have been uniformly rejected. Upon location of a suitable host, the specimen will hide itself in the immediate vicinity and wait until the victim has fallen asleep. How it is able to determine the state of sleep is unknown, but it is shown to be accurate in redacted and times out of redacted. Upon entering the mouth of the new host, SCP-439 will travel down the trachea and take up residence in one of the victim's lungs. In approximately 4 to 8 hours after awakening, the host will complain of chest pains and shortness of breath, followed shortly by abdominal cramping. The tightness in the chest will increase, as well as a fever, until the host is incapacitated. It is around this time that the onset of fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva (FOP) occurs, a disorder that is normally genetic in nature that promotes growth of bone into muscle tissue. Since the production of new bone growth is so rapid, the procedure is also quite painful for the subject, with new bone spurs occasionally protruding through the flesh. While this is happening, the host will become compelled to seek shelter in a darkened, enclosed space, such as inside a household cabinetry, closets, or heating ductwork. Within the first 3 days without treatment, the host will become completely withdrawn and immobile due to the extreme pain of new bone growth coupled with difficulty breathing. At this point, the subject's body will begin the final stage of transformation into a bone hive. Having concealed itself in its new home, the body of the host will huddle in a fetal position, Entire proportions of the skeletal structure will shift along redacted until the host body is roughly spherical in nature and reduced to 3/4 its original size. New bone protrusions will continue to grow and, if possible, anchor the body permanently to its new location. The skeletal structure is almost completely unrecognizable, having been converted to a round cage to protect the internal organs and colony. At this point, transformation is complete. The original queen that entered the host will have produced 20 to 30,000 offspring that function as workers, drones, and warriors in typical insect hive hierarchy. Since only the queen is capable of reproduction, the rest of the hive's inhabitants are fortunately harmless, save for large, strong abdominal forceps of the warriors. The interior of the original host is nearly unrecognizable as a human body. Certain organs are removed and used as food, while others are modified by the worker insects to serve as egg incubation chambers. An ingenious method exists of using the host's own digestive system to process pieces of organic materials collected by the warriors into a nutritive slurry that feeds both the colony and sustains the host hive structure. After 4 to 6 months, a new queen will emerge from within the ranks and choose a drone to mate with. At this point, the colony will destroy itself by rupturing redacted, upon which the majority of the insects die. Workers and drones unfit to survive outside the host hive, and warriors will abandon the site, wandering away, their tasks complete. No food will be consumed by warriors that isn't nutritive slurry produced by the hive of origin. The new queen will venture out, fertilized, to search for her own new hive. Incredibly, the trauma of evacation is not what finally causes biological activity to cease in the hive, but starvation. Addendum. In particularly disturbing development, Dr. Redacted performed a range of experiments to determine the extent of damage to the host body after it has finished the transformation into a hive. While it had been previously discovered in autopsy that portions of the brain are hollowed out to serve as food, others are left intact, presumably to regulate what body functions continue. During the last round of experimentation, Redacted took the opportunity to examine a hive at close range shortly after transformation. While the eyes are eventually reached and used as food source, at the point Redacted performed her examination, they were still intact. Opening the eyelids and examining them with a flashlight, Redacted discovered that the host's eyes followed the beam. Experimentation was terminated and no further testing is scheduled. Did we enjoy that one? Thank you very much for the gifted subs. I really appreciate it. Welcome back, all re-subscribers. You know, I think ASMR is starting to grow on me. What do you think? You're very welcome. Thank you guys very much for having so many kind things to say. Our next SCP is 4419. Oh, why is it so tiny? One moment, I don't know why I did that. Okay. Vulcan is absolutely a huge inspiration. A lot of little tidbits, the way that he does things, I definitely nipped and tried to make my own. Vulcan's fantastic. First time here was recommended by a friend. This is equally unsettling and relaxing. I could not be happier to hear that. Welcome. And please tell your friend I said thank you. But welcome on in, everyone. I appreciate you being here. Next we have SCP-4419. Object Class: Computer. Special Containment Procedures. Due to the expansive range of circumstances in which SCP-4419 manifestations occur, containment efforts are to focus on information control and post-manifestation cleanup, rather than physical imprisonment. Any witnesses to an SCP-4419 manifestation are to be dosed with a Class B or Class A amnesic as appropriate for the level of exposure. In cases where it is possible to restore the bodies of SCP-4419 victims to roughly standard human configurations, a cover story is to be established to explain any remaining damage as a result of the original injuries. In cases where this is not feasible, victims of SCP-4419 are to be brought into custody and, if possible, euthanized. A cover story is then to be established regarding to the death of the victim due to their original injuries or conditions. Description: SCP-4419 is a vehicle resembling an ambulance of varying make and model, which will spontaneously appear in an area shortly before a medical emergency arises. This means by which SCP-4419 predicts these situations is currently unknown. Although the appearance of SCP-4419 differs from manifestation to manifestation, it will always resemble an ambulance appropriate for the local culture. Upon occurrence of the medical emergency, SCP-4419 will proceed directly to the injured individual, hereafter referred to as the victim. Two individuals of varying physical appearances in paramedic uniforms will then exit from the back of SCP-4419, secure the victim, and bring them back with them into SCP-4419. The individuals that emerge from SCP-4419 will behave as expected for a medical professional in the situation, but will repel any attempt by others to prevent them securing the victim via extreme physical force. Once the victim has been secured within SCP-4419, it will leave the area at extreme speeds, disappearing the moment it is outside of observation. 2 to 7 days later, the victim will be returned outside a local area, suffering from extreme and invasive bodily modifications. Although the majority of these alterations would logically result in the death of the victim, death will not occur in these cases unless the modifications are tampered with or otherwise undone. The specific nature of these modifications differs from case to case, although there does appear to be a level of correlation with the original medical emergency. See Encounter Log 44191. Shoutouts to Suika. Thank you, Suika. Encounter Log 44191. The following is a log of encounters with SCP-4419. The original medical emergencies in each case and the bodily modifications applied to the victim. Note that this log does not encapsulate all known SCP-4419 victims, and a full record is available upon request from the Data Archive at Site 31. 07/02/1983. A braking car hits a pedestrian crossing the street, resulting in a broken leg. Victim returned with all limbs amputated and relocated to protrude directly from his torso. Limbs were reamputated and a cover story was established to explain the loss of limbs as a result of a much more severe car accident. 23/11/1994. A man suffers from a broken jaw following a fight outside a bar. Victim returned with his jaw forced permanently open. In addition, a glass window was installed in the mouth to permit the viewing of the heart, which had been relocated to the back of the throat. Due to the relocation of the heart, reversion of the body modifications was not possible, and the victim was euthanized. 1906-1999. A homeless man suffers from a drug overdose. Victim returned to the same place he was originally taken from. The top of the victim's skull had been removed and the brain crudely scooped out and placed into the victim's hands, which had been fused together in front of him. While being brought into custody, the victim's brain fell out of his hands and he instantly expired. 29/01/2003. A wife and husband involved in a car crash suffer numerous broken bones and severe bleeding. Victims returned fused together by their backs. All bones that had been broken in the original accident were meticulously removed, resulting in the loss of use of some limbs. The victims were successfully separated, administered amnesics and appropriate, and their modified limbs were amputated. 15/02/2006. An elderly man suffers from a heart attack. Victim was returned with 11 additional and non-functional hearts within his body, stuffed between his existing organs. Expiration occurred when surgeons attempted to remove these additional hearts before agents could arrive on the scene. Surgeons and medical staff who had treated the victim were administered amnestics and the body confiscated. 19/09/2008. A fire at a bar results in 19 people suffering from severe burns. An additional 7 people suffer from skull fractures and broken bones when they attempt to confront the individuals who emerge from SCP-4419 and are also taken as victims. It is believed existing injuries were exacerbated and new injuries caused by attempting to force 26 people into the limited space within SCP-4419. Victims returned to the local community center as a single watery mass which twitches and shivers when physical contact is applied. As no method of euthanizing the victims could be found, they are currently stored in a liquid tank at Site 31. 24/11/2014. A U.S. military private is shot while on patrol in Afghanistan. Due to the suspicious nature of SCP-4419's arrival and the forceful securing of the private, other soldiers on the patrol fire upon SCP-4419. As it leaves, witnesses report seeing a vicious black fluid leaking from the resultant bullet holes in SCP-4419's surface. Victim is found broken down into a thin paste and spread over the walls of the barracks the next day. The agents who initially secured the remains reported seeing a mostly intact eyeball dilate when they approached. Although what has been brought into storage is referred to for convenience sake as remains, it is currently not known whether or not the victim has expired. How did we feel about that one? I like the sound of my keyboard, actually. It's quite nice. Perfect EMT to date. I'm really enjoying SCPs. I think they're quite lovely. Do you want to hear more? Somewhat surprised I haven't seen anyone do this on Twitch. This is entertaining. Get that boy a sub right now. Excuse me while I log in. Finding SCP-6110. Logging in. File found. Item number SCP-6110. Object class Peter. Special containment procedures. Due to the vast area of infection, SCP-6110 covers containment is impossible. Isolation of the area has proved far more effective, and permission has been granted by the Russian government to establish a perimeter to keep people out of these areas under the guise of military operations. I might have missed a number. Is it 610 or 6110? Sorry. 610. 610. 610. Should any organism displaying traits consistent with SCP-610 be sighted near this perimeter, then the established protocol requires it to be engaged at range with small arms until immobile, then dispatched using incendiary weapons and munitions from as great a distance as possible. Any living thing coming in physical contact with an organism infected with SCP-610 is considered expendable and is to be immediately terminated and incinerated. Any persons coming within 3 meters of SCP-610 infected life are to immediately withdraw from the area, be isolated from the rest of their team, and subjected to medical examination, using only remote techniques to determine if infection has occurred and appropriate steps taken based on that determination. Incendiary. Burning. Thank you. This is what happens when you read live and you don't record and then upload. We take these little risks. At present, the known infection vectors for SCP-610's spread seem to be focused on physical contact. Drone movements within heavily infected areas have returned air samples containing minute particulate, which, when exposed to organic compounds, will result in the spread of SCP-610. Kind of sounds like Monsanto. The results of these particular tests have revealed that most require several days to manifest, if at all. With the exception of direct contact with their exposed lung and liver tissue. These particular tests show a rapid rate of growth which requires incineration of the testing environment no more than 24 hours after initial exposure, with even a 2-hour mishap risking a compromised facility event. Given that this kind of rapid growth only occurs in organic material existing outside of the human body, this form of infection is currently considered a minor concern. These peculiarities have given rise to a series of questions regarding the possible origin of the infection in conjunction with the failed redacted containment protocol remains at a scorched earth policy at this time, and no concern for transmission via water or air at infection parameters exists, bearing situational changes in the field. Description. Initial reports of SCP-610 came direct from the Russian government through undisclosable channels. These reports consisted primarily of disappearances of the farmers in the region and were not considered until the local police, followed by the regional police, and finally a government-dispatched agent, all failed to report in within a 72-hour period. A small military contingent was dispatched to the area and quickly withdrew at the point of the Foundation was contacted to investigate. The area SCP-610 affects is close to Lake Baikal in southern Siberia. Areas of known infection are marked on a map provided to us here. Containment perimeters are marked in blue surrounding these infection areas as if present no further locations have been identified. Incursions into the perimeter must be reported prior to conducting, confirmed during exploration, and debriefed on immediately following return. SCP-610 appears to be a contagious skin disease at first, with symptoms including rash, itching, and increased skin sensitivity. Within 3 hours, the disease will cause blemishes resembling heavy scar tissue to form in the chest and arm areas, spreading to the legs and back within an additional hour, consuming the victim completely within 5 hours. Exposure to higher temperatures vastly decreases the time for the contagion to spread, and complete infections have been recorded occurring in as little as 5 minutes. After the completion of the infection occurs, the victim's life functions will cease for approximately 3 minutes, after which time they will restart at 2 to 3 times the activity rate of a normal human. Following this, the scar tissue on the victims will start to move of its own accord and grow at a rapid rate. Normal human features start to disappear at this point under the infection, and the path of mutation appears to be largely random. Subjects observed in this stage of infection have been recorded as growing 3 or more limbs of a type such as arms or legs. The head may become misshapen and elongate or widen out, and parts of the subject may split open, from which additional branches of flesh will grow. The duration of this stage of infection is unknown, and not all subjects appear to progress to the later stages. Under unknown conditions, an infected individual will cease moving and place itself in a location it deems suitable, where it roots itself. The fleshy growth on the victim will then begin to spread itself across all surrounding objects and consume them. Such objects do not spread the infection as living creatures do, however, and the effect of prolonged contact with these objects is recorded later in this document. It is assumed that this behavior is to create an area hospitable to continued growth of the other infected. Observation of life infected by SCP-610 by staff is impossible. Those infected with the disease immediately seek out aid as natural human impulse, resulting in unintended infections. Those infected past the scar tissue phase actively and aggressively attempt to infect anyone approaching them with an undefined area. It has been established that should an infected be capable of sight and observe an uninfected, it will proceed towards them. If the infected has lost the ability of sight, a range of approximately 30 meters is considered safe. Observation of SCP-610 has infected settlements has been established using artificial methods such as remote robots. The data returned from these observations, coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread SCP-610, has resulted in the Keter classification. However, so long as nothing is allowed to enter or leave the infected areas, it is considered a neutralized threat. Of concern are the cavernous areas beneath the infected settlements that were discovered during the exploration, and attempts to get research personnel into these areas are underway. Well, thank you to your mother for liking my voice, and thank you to you for showing her. Welcome in everyone and anyone who is new, not only to watching this live, maybe lurking, maybe you're watching in the future. Thank you for taking the time to click this. And enjoy the SCP reading. If you're here from the future, watching this on other platforms, Maybe you could do me a favor and tell me your favorite SCP in the comments. What would you like me to read to you? This is sick. I'm so glad you guys like this so much. $15.07, I love that you guys have so many SCPs that you enjoy. Opening the database. SCP 3, 5, 4. Why is that so fast? If you guys would like to recommend SCPs that you want me to read for you, you can type !Discord in the chat live now. You can carry on over to a room that I'm going to make as we speak, called SCPs. I would appreciate it that with the SCPs you want me to cover, please drop the SCP wiki and I will take a peek. If you look forward to more SCP readings, then you can just drop them and I will read them for you. Please join the community. Shall we continue? We're banned from the Discord. Is it possible for us to be let back in? My account got hacked last year and around this time and I miss absolutely. Mods, can we take care of that if you don't mind? Item number SCP. What? Excuse me, I seem to have the wrong documentation. Oh no, Suika. Oh no. Give me one moment. My advisor has seems to have labeled something incorrectly and our files are a bit shaken up. Well, we might need to move on to different documentation. One moment, please. Well, it looks like I've taken care of that. All right, let us continue. Item number SCP-966. Object class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures MTF Iota 1 Dream Hunters and MTF Iota 2 Air Chasers are to regularly be on the lookout for news about sudden, violent human deaths related to sleep deprivation. In order to find and neutralize remaining wild instances of SCP-966. The 4 specimens of SCP-966, 3 males, designated SCP-9661, SCP-9663, and SCP-9664, and 1 female, designated 9662. Acquired by the Foundation must be contained in a 10 by 10 meter room made of steel, lined with lead, located on site, redacted. 2 security cameras with infrared filters and infrared sensitive film are to be installed inside the room. Each specimen of SCP-966 is to be fed with 20 kilograms of meat every month. An event of SCP-9662 giving birth, the newborn specimen is to be studied and disposed of before it reaches maturity. Description: SCP-966 are predatory creatures that resemble hairless, degenerate humans, possessing an elongated, I like it when you guys didn't hear my cough ASMR, elongated face with a human mouth, lined with needle-like teeth. On each hand, they have 5 claws that can be up to 20 centimeters long. Although sharp, these are easily broken, making them unfit for combat. SCP-966 height ranges from 1.4 to 1.6 meters, and they can reach up to 30 kilograms in weight. Physically, SCP-966 are weak, possessing hollow bones and low muscular density. They do not seem to rest through sleep. Instead, they will suddenly cease all movement at seemingly random intervals of time, resuming normal activity 3 to 5 minutes later. SCP-966 are visible only at wavelengths ranging from 700 nm to about 900 nm. This applies to all of SCP-966's tissues. If their skin, muscles, or organs have suffered from 2nd to 3rd degree burns, the affected areas will be visible at wavelengths ranging from 360 to 900 nm. SCP-966 feed on medium to large-sized animals, including humans. They hunt either alone or in pairs. Their hunting methods consist of emitting a single burst of previously unknown type of wave, dubbed redacted waves, in honor of the late Dr. Redacted, which permanently inhibits the ability of the affected creature to enter any of the NREM and REM sleep stages. The ability to micro-sleep is also lost. The effective range of the redacted waves is up to 20 meters. However, tests show that they can be blocked by post-transition metals, particularly lead. All attempts to make victims of SCP-966 sleep have failed. It is still possible to induce other forms of unconsciousness, although these will usually prove detrimental to the affected subject as they do not provide true rest. After depriving their victims of sleep, SCP-966 will stalk their prey until the lack of rest incapacitates it. At this point, SCP-966 will proceed to consume it. SCP-966 have proved to be very agile and silent while stalking their victims. On occasion, they will deliberately make threatening noises around the prey in order to further stress it, and may even physically assault it if the victim proves to be partially durable. Other than the common symptoms caused by sleep deprivation, some victims of SCP-966 have shown signs of suffering from extremely vivid hallucinations, as well as sudden bouts of rage with no apparent external stimuli. It is currently thought that these are the effects of prolonged exposure to redacted waves. Why SCP-966 continually exposes these waves to only some of their victims is unknown. One hypothesis is that SCP-966 will only do this when starving, since it further degenerates the physical and mental state of their prey, incapacitating it at a faster rate. Wild instances of SCP-966 are found all over the world. Since their discovery in 19redacted, the Foundation has succeeded in greatly thinning their numbers, though they are still found in large quantities in many countries, particularly redacted and redacted. What did we think of that one? I wanted to do a specific sound to indicate redacted, but my mixer was not outputting the sound into OBS, so I'm just going to say redacted until I get that figured out. I imagine that since this is my first, and a first with anything that you do, it just improves over time. First time viewer, I love the SCP readings. Thank you so much. Kind of plan to do this every Monday. I like all kinds of ASMR, but so far, even though we've only done scripts and then we did SCP, I think I'm liking reading SCPs more than I did scripts. What do you think? As a first-time viewer and also loving it, thank you so much. I think we may change it to SCP Mondays for a little bit. SCP ASMR Monday. I'm really enjoying it. It also feels like I'm learning in a way, and I quite like that. And there's so many of them. Some of them are hours long to read. I just joined your Discord. Congratulations. Welcome on in and welcome to the community. Again, if you would like for me to read one of your favorite SCPs, just join the Discord !Discord. And maybe the mods and some of the regulars can show you in the right direction to drop your SCPs. I watched a video that was 6 hours long. I would love to do that. I wouldn't mind at all. Doing ASMR is a very new thing for me right now. I'm finding something or finding my footing in what I enjoy the most with you. Having a way to incorporate fan art or SCP art would be really fantastic. Maybe I can figure that out along the way. If you have to go at any point in time, or if you would like to listen to this again, !YouTube, I have a fantastic team of editors and managers providing you with this content as soon as possible, especially on ASMR Mondays. Please join the YouTube, subscribe, and you will get the ASMR within a day or so. You are the dark cinder of ASMR. That is an extremely kind compliment. That's a good question. Would you want this on YouTube to be one whole video? Or do you want them all uploaded per SCP reading? Because if that is the case, that's like 5 uploads. It's like 1 every day. Per SCP. Oh my goodness. 1 per SCP, guys. That is going to be so many videos on the YouTube channel. Wow. I will try to do a better job of pausing at the end and the beginning so that if they're cut between SCPs, it's not interrupted. Because I'm trying my best to not interrupt or talk to chat or thank someone in the middle of a reading, because in the future people don't want to be interrupted mentally while listening. So these little moments between SCP's readings is fine by me. Per SCP would make it so much easier to search for. Okay? Do editors get paid? I don't pay anyone. Ever. Paid in dog pics. I know that that might be clipped and shared around, but my team knows better. We do have a VOD channel, so don't worry. The whole VOD will be uninterrupted on the VOD channel, but the main YouTube channel itself, maybe I delve into specific and individual SCP videos. No, I promise. In this past month or so, we have put together a phenomenal team. Ghostifer, Shimo, Joker, Suika manages the entire team, and we've got Shocks kind of just lurking in the background. And we have a brand new thumbnail editor with the most phenomenal thumbnails. I think I told you about them last week. Marcelina. They have been individually drawing every thumbnail for the videos coming out soon. So I love how there's an unusual join activity for the Discord. There's so many SCPs. I'm trying to not be excited so I don't break the theme, but you guys have posted so many SCPs in the server. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. The only way I can read more SCPs for today is if Suika pumps out more, but I'm not going to bother him. I tried to make them enough for 2 hours, is what was going to be done today. I will also be streaming again in the evening, but I haven't quite figured out a time. There's a new game called Suck Up, where you're a little vampire guy trying to get in the neighborhood houses, and it is controlled by your microphone, and as you speak the AI responds. It's a very lovely interactive game that I thought all of us would enjoy later on tonight. You didn't come late, don't worry, there's about 2 more SCPs. You sound very German. That's kind of cool. It's the first time I've ever heard that. Incorrect. What? Again, if you want me to read your favorite SCPs, please join the Discord, ! Discord. I'll speak with Shocks to be sure that the onboarding may or may not, or could or could not be any easier. Point you in the right direction. I'll work with Suika to prepare for the next ASMR stream together. Can you all wait another week? Are you okay with only SCP readings on Mondays? Do you want more? That's a good question. How many SCPs exist right now? Thousands. I think reading SCPs is also a lot more fun for me and a lot easier, as opposed to finding scripts that don't involve like ass play and weird things that I have to avoid at all costs. You heard me. It's very content friendly. Yes, I agree. Shocks, maybe we can talk after this about maybe we do more or less. It depends. I think this is the first time reading ASMR at any point in time that I've really enjoyed it. All right. Looking into the database, please. SCP-024. The next SCP for today will be SCP-024. Object class: Euclid. Special containment procedures. Due to its nature, SCP-024 cannot be moved to a secure location, so security measures must be placed on site. To conceal its location, 5 identical-looking replicas have been erected around SCP-024. A tight security perimeter must be maintained around SCP-024's compound at all times, with separate security teams guarding SCP-024 and its replicas. None of the security teams, except for team leaders, will be informed of the location of SCP-024. SCP-024 must be secured with magnetically sealed blast doors and reinforced, armored walls to prevent unauthorized entry. Under no circumstances can any security or research personnel enter SCP-024. Only D-Class personnel are allowed entry, and strictly for research purposes only. All researchers are to observe and experiment with SCP-024 from the Remote Observation Lab. Any personnel attempting to leave the Remote Observation Lab or enter SCP-024 without prior approval from a Level 4 researcher must be immediately apprehended, with termination authorized. Should containment be breached, or SCP-024's true nature compromised, then the entire compound must be destroyed via specialized demolition charges planted throughout the compound. Description: SCP-024 is an abandoned sound stage that was owned by Redacted. However, SCP-024 itself had been abandoned since 19-Redacted, and it is unknown whether its special properties manifested before or after its abandonment. SCP-024 is located in the heart of Redacted and was initially discovered when a group of teenage youths broke into the abandoned compound. The testimony of the lone winner, when she turned herself in the police, was enough to have Foundation assets mobilize to contain SCP-024. Upon entering SCP-024, visitors are immediately greeted by an anonymous announcer who communicates via intercom and is able to hear and comprehend the voices of people within SCP-024. The announcer will inform the contestants that they are about to take part in a game show in which the winners will win fabulous prizes, but will also warn that the game will be extremely hazardous and that the losers will never leave SCP-024. It is at this point that the announcer presents the choice of whether to stay or leave SCP-024. Contestants who accept will continue to participate in the game, while those who decline are immediately expelled from SCP-024. Contestants that win the game or decline to participate may never enter SCP-024 again, as entry is denied by impenetrable invisible barrier. It is then that the contestants are led to the actual game. The style, composition, and appearance of the game always changes in every individual playthrough, but the game is always centered around a long, elaborate obstacle course that contestants must navigate through. The rules also vary. Some playthroughs may only allow a single winner, while others encourage the creation of teams to win the game. More often than not, the obstacles seen in these games range from incredibly benign to extremely hazardous and life-threatening. As the contestants attempt to negotiate the course, the announcer will continuously update their status and actively participate in the game, often giving advice, conversing with contestants, and adding new rules. As the game progresses, the obstacles become significantly more dangerous and difficult to overcome, and it is not surprising to have the entire pool of contestants succumb to the rigors of the obstacle course. If such an event happens, the announcer will express sadness at the lack of a winner, and SCP-024 will shut down, resetting only when a new batch of contestants enter. Any attempts to break the rules, such as assaulting other contestants and deliberately bypassing obstacles, are met by extreme violence. The announcer will call out the offending contestant, who will be quickly and forcibly ejected from the course by studio guardians. These studio guardians will immediately materialize with an SCP-024 when called upon by the announcer, and disappear when not needed. The contestant will never be seen again. When a winner is declared, he/she will receive a random grand prize. Any contestants that have survived the course but failed to win are immediately declared losers by the announcer. The lights will switch off and the winner will immediately appear outside of SCP-024 with his/her prize, while the losers completely disappear. However, the most mysterious aspect of SCP-024 is that after every game, a VHS tape or DVD will appear in the mailbox outside of SCP-024's main entrance. This recording is a complete record of the entire game that was previously played, even though winners have claimed that they have never seen any cameras or recording devices inside SCP-024. Also, more strangely, a live studio audience can be seen in the background cheering on the contestants. Again, winners have claimed not to have seen a live studio audience while inside SCP-024. Addendum 1. So far, the list of prizes awarded to winners has included, but is not limited to, cash prizes, electronics, various consumer goods, cars, collectibles, full paid vacations to various countries. Redacted. Close examination of these prizes have confirmed that they are completely genuine and possess no unusual abilities or characteristics whatsoever. There appears to be no consistent pattern for what the prizes will be. Addendum 2. In an attempt to track where the losers are taken, GPS locator beacons were planted on subjects D124 through D135. When group D245 was sent into SCP-024. When the losers were taken away, all signals from the beacons were lost. Whether this is because the beacons were destroyed or because the losers were taken to an area that cannot be located via GPS is currently unknown. Addendum 3. The announcer living within SCP-024 appears to be sentient and aware of events that take place outside of the compound. During the test of Group D523, which consisted of Dr. Redacted, the announcer instead engaged in a conversation with Dr. Redacted. Analysis of the conversations have shown that the majority of the subjects are centered around pop culture and information distributed through television, implying that SCP-024 somehow is able to access and interpret television signals. Cutting all power and signal lines, as well as removing any potential wireless receiving equipment on SCP-024, does not affect SCP-024 in any way. When it became clear that no other contestants would participate, the announcer kindly asked Dr. Redacted to leave SCP-024 and suggested he return with more contestants. Addendum 4. The studio guardians that the announcer uses to enforce the rules vary in appearance every game, just like the course. If they appear, the guardians will always be dressed in a manner that matches with the theme of the obstacle course. The only common attributes all guardians share are the possession of humanoid appearance, ability to suddenly appear and disappear, superhuman strength, and face-concealing masks or headgear. However, winners have claimed that the Guardians have no apparent shape or form inside SCP-024, instead appearing as huge, shadowy figures that engulf the offender. SCP-024. This is fun. I'm really enjoying this. Initially, a long time ago, when I thought about doing SCP readings, there was a part of me that didn't know how I would even read it. But it's not as bad as I anticipated it being at all. It's great to listen to, and normally I don't even like ASMR. I think that's something that it's kind of a thing that I enjoy doing. Having people see certain things in a different light, such as horror being comfy, or ASMR not being the immediate taboo you think of, you know? A bit of a throwback to listening to creepypastas, exactly. Right now I'm reading from a set list, but at the moment we have opened a Discord channel, which may or may not have been the play, but if you join !Discord, there's a section to link the SCP that you want me to read in the future. As this was my first time and first live stream reading SCPs and figuring out the format we wanted to do this in, how long we want to do it, how many we want to do, how slow or fast it was to read. Hearing your feedback so that we can improve with the next one. Yes, we do have a VOD channel. If you type !YouTube, on that YouTube channel is the main channel, and linked on my YouTube is the VODs channel. Ghost of Fur has uploaded and is extremely consistent with keeping up with the VODs, but the SCPs individually will also be uploaded on the main channel soon. Let's see what other recipes we have for today. I think we just did this one, did we not? No, we just did 024. So we are missing one, unfortunately. 439. We did the falling asleep one. What are we missing? SCP-024, 439, 2998. Did this one. This is the first one we did, correct? (966). I'm trying to figure out if it's 610 that was possibly messed up. We did this one. So 4419. We did this one. 354. Yes, it was 354 that unfortunately did not work. I don't know if that will be able to be updated right now. 354, yeah. I'm happy to read 354, but there won't be any text, and I don't know if I want to do that for the video. Thank you for suggesting people give me a sub for my first stream. Catch you. Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have another one. I could layer the text on post. You're so smart. Is that because you want me to keep reading? Oh my gosh. 354, huh? Alright, one moment. Three, five, four. All right. We've got one more for today. I still can't find the SCP channel in the Discord. Regulars and mods, is there any way we can help people go in the right direction? I want to ensure that people can find it. They might need a role. I'm going to put the SCP readings up here. Mods, if you're around, can you ensure that they can have access to SCP readings? That's under Layna's suggestions. There's so many SCPs to choose from. It's really exciting. So to anyone who was making deviled eggs after my stream, thank you. Okay, fantastic. At the end of the current ad happening at the moment, my mom really wants to make them now. I will read the final and last SCP. Oh. Now, before we begin to the last one of the day, do you guys have any suggestions that you would like to see implemented in the next SCP reading stream? Now is your time. A proper redacted button noise. It sounded like a lot of people didn't mind not having that noise, though. Title card of the SCP that stays while the text scrolls. Shocks, I don't know if you're in here, but can you guys keep note of that? That is a very, very, very good suggestion. Joker, you're gonna have to drop that in the admin. There's no fucking way in hell I'm opening that right now. A non-intrusive noise. Okay. Ryan, welcome on in. Thank you so much for joining the community. We did hit 4K today. Thank you so much, everyone. There's some SCPs that are part of a bigger story. Maybe you could read those all together. That sounds like a great idea. I prefer you saying redacted to some other noise, okay? Again, don't worry if you want more streams that maybe are not ASMR because that's not your thing. We will be streaming later on today. You've got 2 streams, one in the morning and one in the evening. So I may be streaming, I'm not sure, just a bit late. I'll let you guys know in the Discord. There's also a stream tomorrow. Did you guys know that for the first time in a long time, I'm doing a mini marathon that could last anywhere from 2 minutes to 5 days? Tell me you want to know more. Bao and I made a promise to each other. We promised that before the new year hit that we would hit 3,000 score on Suika. She hit it many weeks ago, but I forgot about our promise. I don't have many days left in this year of 2023, so as of tomorrow at 1 p.m. PST, we are doing a Suikathon. The stream will not end, will not turn off, will not be doing anything but Suika until we hit 3,000 points. That could happen in one round. That can happen in 7, 10, 20 days. We won't know until tomorrow comes. But for every 50 subscribers, I have to reset my game. Are you tired of silly old regular subathons? Well, have no fear, Suika is here. That sounds like it would suck. I'm looking forward to it. Well, okay. If it gets to a point where I'm too stupid to hit 3K before I go to fucking bed tomorrow, I'm gonna find a lot of royalty-free or, what is it called? Not open source. It's like free to use movies from a long time ago, and I'm gonna let them play while I sleep. DMCA free, IP free, open IP, public domain. So I do have plans, but so please stop by tonight for some last time fun before I go in fucking insane. Are you sure this is a good idea? No. But is anyone sure that end of the year subathons are a good idea for anyone's sanity? No. But at the very least, I'll have something to do, if not repetitive and insane, other than nothing. But honestly, it could last an hour. I might be able to prove you wrong and become a professional, a pro status Suika player in no time at all. So maybe you stop by tomorrow and cheer me on. But for now, SCP-354. Item number SCP-354. Object class Keter. Special containment procedures. Due to SCP-354's immobile nature, Area 354 has been built around it. Area 354 houses forces and D-Class personnel prepared to deal with threats emerging from SCP-354, as well as researchers studying SCP-354 and its properties. For their own safety, no on-site personnel are to approach SCP-354 at any time. Direct interaction with SCP-354 is permitted only for the purpose of research to eliminate SCP-354 and must be approved by O5 personnel. Area 354 was constructed to contain and neutralize any and all further threats emerging from SCP-354. At the heart end of Area 354, a 20-foot wall of concrete reinforced with redacted has been reconstructed around SCP-354 to prevent emerging entities from escaping into the area at large. High-speed motion detection cameras are placed atop the wall looking down into the pool, and armed guards can easily shoot down into the enclosure from catwalks placed above the pool. Description: SCP-354 is a pool of red liquid discovered in northern Canada. The liquid is of consistency similar to that of human blood, hence the colloquial name blood pond. But it is not of biological nature. The pool does not have definite banks, soil mixes with a liquid until at a certain point there is more soil than liquid and the ground is mostly solid. The liquid becomes denser as one descends deeper into the pool. If the pool has a bottom, it has yet to be reached. Periodically, entities emerge from the pool and attempt to escape from the enclosure. Thus far, nearly all creatures emerging from SCP-354 have been extremely hostile and highly dangerous. SCP-354 is believed to have been discovered and redacted by survivors of a plane crash who encountered SCP-354 by chance. SCP-354 had developed into a local urban legend long before Foundation personnel arrived to deal with the threat. After locating the source of the legend, SCP personnel set up Watch Station Epsilon 38 to monitor the pool and to deter future travelers from finding it. SCP-354 was classified as Euclid until its properties were further discovered. At 14:03 hours on redacted, as unidentified entity emerged from SCP-354. Contact with Watch Station Epsilon 38 was lost. Mobile Task Force redacted was dispatched to deal with the entity and were eventually successful. All personnel at Watch Station Epsilon 38 were found dead. Area 354 was subsequently constructed to contain SCP-354. Document 3541-A. Partial log of entities have emerged from SCP-354 prior to Event 35420. SCP-354-1. Original entity which destroyed Watch Station Epsilon 38 resembled a giant bat. Neutralized by Mobile Task Force redacted. SCP-354-2. Bear-sized mammalian creature covered in razor-sharp spines. Resembled an echidna. Was virtually bulletproof, but was unable to escape the enclosure surrounding the pool. Neutralized via napalm. SCP-354-3. Black metallic sphere capable of levitation. Emitted concentrated levels of radiation in precisely directed beams sufficient to instantly cripple and later result in death. Then Area Head Doctor redacted struck SCP-3543 with a sledgehammer, disabling it. SCP-3543 then detonated, causing minor structural damage and severely wounding Dr. Redacted. Made a full recovery and has been commended for his bravery. SCP-3544. Humanoid reptilian creature, approximately 4.6 meters, 15 feet tall. Escaped both the walled enclosure and Area 354 altogether. Gunfire caused very little physical harm and was highly unaffected. Mobile Task Force Omega-7 Pandora's Box was dispatched and was successful in neutralizing the creature. SCP-354-5. Data expunged. SCP-354-6. Appear to be human, male of Indian descent. As the enclosure around the pool has not yet been fully repaired, SCP-3546 was immediately shot before it had a chance to escape. Area head doctor, redacted, has expressed his displeasure in the rash execution of SCP-3546, which testing revealed to be identical to an average human being. Data corrupt. SCP-354-14. Majority of creature's body remained well beneath the surface of the pool. 5 octopus-like tentacles were seen emerging from the pool and reached up over the enclosure. Several D-Class personnel were grabbed by the tentacles and pulled back beneath the surface of the pool. After receiving massive damage from gunfire, SCP-35414 retreated back into the pool and disappeared. No personnel taken by the creature were recovered. SCP-35415. Feline creature composed of blue-hued crystalline structure later revealed to be eyes. Was able to jump above the walled enclosure and was agile enough to dodge most gunfire. Was actively hostile and mauled by any personnel that engaged it. Subject engaged SCP-35416 upon its emergence from the pool and was terminated in the fight. SCP-35416. Feline creature composed of a dark red-black stone later revealed to be partially solidified magma. Gunfire proved mostly ineffective against its hide. Was not hostile to personnel and did not attempt to escape the walled enclosure until being engaged by SCP-35415. Successfully terminated SCP-35415 and grew less active as its body cooled. After fully solidifying and having remained motionless since, subject was moved to Dr. Redacted's office for aesthetic purposes. SCP-35418, metallic humanoid machine described by several D-Class personnel as a Terminator. Subject possessed a cloaking device, rendering it invisible to human eyes. Subject was highly adept at combat and killed nearly 90% of Area 354's guard personnel as it rampaged through the facility. Approximately 60 minutes after emerging from the pool, subject ceased function and powered down. Subject was dismantled, and its power cell was disposed of. Subject remains are under study. SCP-354 concluded. Oh, I'm having such a good time. I don't know why I'm enjoying this so much, but I really like reading SCPs. This is so nice. They actually sent a crew and a sub down that pond. That's awesome. I'm slowly discovering things I want to do more with each SCP reading, so thank you for being open-minded with me. Again, if you would like to hear me reading some of your favorite SCPs, just join the Discord, !Discord, Layna Lazar, and you can drop your own SCPs in the SCP suggestions. For now, that concludes our SCP ASMR reading stream, but don't fret. In a few hours, I will be back with a really awesome game that uses my mic and my voice and my dialogue to communicate with the NPCs in the game. So you get 2 streams today, not just 1. The game is called Suck Up. If you go to my Discord, I've linked it in the schedule section and you can take a look. I think tonight's going to be really, really fun and wonderful stream, and honestly, I can't wait. When I was watching someone play it on YouTube, I got so excited, and I thought that's something that you and I can do together. You guys give me suggestions on what to say, or kick back and relax and watch some really fun live interaction between me and NPCs. Plus, it's the holidays, and I figured maybe those that don't get to see my streams in the morning could hang out with me in the evening. But yes, I very much look forward to the next SCP reading, which is most likely next Monday. From here on out, every Monday will be ASMR Mondays. And you know what? Why don't we stick to SCPs for a while? What do you think, chat? What time? I actually don't know. Maybe 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe in 6 hours? I'm not sure. I would have done it after the stream, but it's such a... I feel like it's a little bit of a mess if I play a game in the same stream I do ASMR, so I wanted to break the two subject matters, if that's okay. We're done already? Yes. If you are new to the stream today and you enjoyed, please come back Monday. I will be here every Monday with ASMR, and if you missed it or you want more, please join my YouTube at !YouTube. If you just want the whole dang VOD, just follow my VOD channel. But yes, I really look forward to seeing you again Monday, and I really look forward to doing this again on Monday. I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to improve more on it together. I will see you guys later this evening, and if not this evening, for those that are most likely asleep, tomorrow at 1 p.m. PST, we begin our Suikathon. Wish me luck and give me hope for my brain staying intact. But for now, for all you SCP lovers, I will see you next Monday. Thank you very much for the love and support. Please come back again. I'm gonna ruin all of your mind's relaxation because I'm gonna make you take a trip inside a colon. I'm gonna rip that relaxation right out of your mind and take you somewhere you probably don't want to be. Enjoy the ride, everyone, and I will see you soon. SCP-COLO